Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy M.K.S here, back with another video. So I always get team up here. I thought I'd talk about some of my plans which I've been thinking about. I know I think too much, but since it's the 6th today and I have these sort of patterns, I thought I'd talk about these 6 sort of regions of the world, or places of the world, if you like, continents or areas, with, or groups of people which I would love to support, which are indigenous people from Africa, Australasia, like Aborigines, Maoris, people like that, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Native Americans, indigenous people from Asia, and also I think I started with those groups, excuse me, so, I started with those groups, but now I've added like Latin Americans and also Ireland as well. So basically, as an anti-imperialist, these are groups I wish to support because they were colonized, had their land taken away from them, and that sort of thing, went through oppression. So that's the reason why I want to support these groups of people. And one of the things I'd love to do is like connect these 6 groups together so they can sort of support each other's projects. So, for instance, the other 5 groups could support Africa in technology, for instance, and also indigenous people they could support in technology. The reason why I chose that I want to support those 2 groups in terms of technology is because black people have been underrepresented in technology, so that's why I wish to support Africa and Australia in technology. But I wish to support all 6 of these groups, what I call 6, I say, in fields like science or STEM generally, which is science, tech, engineering and maths, also entrepreneurship, startups, SMEs. I'd love to support their singers, songwriters, and other such producers and projects, as say startups, SMEs. I'd love to see how I could help them to grow, perhaps, if I could come up with some ideas. And I'd love them to network together, like, as say, all 6 of these regions to work together on, excuse me, on empowering each other in all possible ways, like supporting each other's projects, singers, songwriters, story writers. Because today is Saturday, I'm mainly thinking of things that begin with S, but generally just supporting each other's projects as much as possible, like politically empowering each other, supporting each other in terms of trade deals, maybe even like working together in terms of issues like political issues, like with the UN and things like that, like giving each other a voice and just empowering each other. Like, I'd love to see Pan-Asianism and Pan-Africanism, but even more than that, like for Asians and Africans to support each other as well, like network together so they can support each other politically, have each other's back, basically. And as I say, I'd love them to support each other in all sorts of different projects, like as many projects as possible, and as many ways to support each other's finances or businesses or economies, basically, as much as possible. Basically to basically empower each other as much as possible and look into the best possible ways and ideas to solve each other's problems and support each other's economies as much as possible. And I thought of all these ideas I'd like to do, like empowering Africa when it comes to technology, and also Aborigines and Maoris when it comes to technology, and like how they could work together, and also like providing electricity for as many parts of Asia and Africa, especially poorer areas, of course, which don't have technology, and faster internet access and all sorts of things like that. I thought that I'd love to combine all those groups together so that they can empower and support each other. And maybe like people of color around the world. I'd love people of color around the world, for instance, to lobby so that our taxes, as a person of color, myself included, our taxes go towards supporting where our ancestry comes from. I'm not part Indian, so maybe like I could look into if I made money, how my tax money could go towards supporting people in Africa. In Asia, big point. But also for me, because I'm an anti-imperialist, I wish to support both Africa and Asia, possibly Asia a tiny bit more. And I'd love to support, like, I think it would be, I don't know if this is the right way of putting it, but it would be an ironic justice if people of color supported places like Iraq or Vietnam that were colonized. As I say, pretty much all of Asia and Africa were colonized, but I think it'd be quite ironic if we supported Iraq, especially more recently, and also Vietnam, especially because they were colonized, if you like, or invaded at least quite recently, whatever the difference is. And so, like, I think it'd be great to support their businesses and projects, startups, SMEs, artists, designers, and all sorts of projects, rather than say support them. I think from my personal point of view, I know it's a bit controversial, but I think instead of supporting the military, we should support people like in Iraq or Vietnam or Aborigines or people like that who have been colonized. And I think it'd be great to have projects that support like Aborigines and Maoris in terms of STEM, generally like support education with training and all that, encouraging companies and corporations, and maybe looking at ways to have an international sort of deal where, because these countries or groups were colonized or persecuted even, tax money could be like legally given to these groups. So like there could be tax exemptions for companies, international tax exemption even for companies investing in Aborigines and Maoris and people like that. So again, as well as people from Africa and around and those countries and groups I've talked about. So I'd love to see Africa and Asia be as united as possible, as well as, let's say, Native Americans, Aborigines, Maoris and people like that, and also Latin Americans and the Irish. And somehow I'd love to connect all 6 of those groups together. I'm not sure how I'd do that, but I know because, for instance, Latin America can be quite racist. So I don't know how they would work with Africa and Asia, but maybe like under emerging economies or growing economies or developing economies or whatever they call them. Maybe they could work together under that sort of umbrella so they can empower each other as much as possible. Again, I'd love to see businesses, charities, NGOs, and whatnot supporting Aborigines and Maoris in STEM, as I say, science, tech, engineering, and maths, and also like people to go and mentor them and teach them how to set up their own businesses, so to empower them as much as possible. So, as ever, I'd love to hear what you think about these ideas, mad ideas of mine, and hopefully I didn't waffle too much, and hopefully it made some sort of sense. And I'd love to know how realistic you think my ideas are, how you think I could put them into practice. And I'm out. Peace and love.